Welcome into our News 2 special on homeschooling. I'm Megan Fee. More and more parents are considering moving their child's education from the classroom to the living room. We start with our Mark Kelly, who shows us where we are seeing homeschooling get more popular.
Which one do you have? Which category? Okay. That would probably be developments, you think?
Yeah.
Hosanna Rodriguez has been homeschooling since the 2000s. She loves the self-discipline it teaches her 4 children.
I want to just say, here's the general plan for the week. You structure it. I feel like by the time they launch into college that they are really clear of how to do it.
Her 2 sons have gone off to college. Over the years, she's seen homeschooling evolve from workbooks to a plethora of online classes, tutorials, and co-ops.
Now it's like going to the coffee shop and you have all kinds of options. Look at the menu. What kind of milk do you want? What kind of sweet? What kind of flavors? And so I feel like we can customize it a lot, and obviously technology allows for a lot of options and opportunities.
Technology allowed homeschooling to take off during the pandemic. Johns Hopkins University formed the Homeschool Research Lab in order to track this fast-growing demographic. Dr. Angela Watson is the director.
I think it's really important for there to be kind of an impartial voice and a reliable source for information.
Her team is tracking homeschool growth across the country. Census data shows that in spring 2020, with the onset of the pandemic, 5% of Tennessee families homeschooled. 3 years later, 10% of Tennessee students homeschooled. In many regions, homeschool's growing, but not in all 50 states.
It doesn't appear to be, only growth in red states or only growth in the South, those types of things. We see growth across the board.
Census data also shows demographic diversity with homeschoolers across the country. In the 2022-23 school year, 60% of homeschoolers were white, 19% Hispanic, 12% Black, 7% 2 or more races, and 2% Asian.
Homeschoolers broadly reflect the broader population. We see growth in homeschoolers from Black communities and Brown, Hispanic, Latino communities. We see lots of diversity as far as religious points of view.
Will Estrada with the Homeschool Legal Defense Association represents homeschoolers across the country. He sees a lot more religious and political diversity among the country's 4 to 5 million homeschoolers than when he was a homeschooler decades ago.
And it was mainly fundamentalist Christian and hippies who were homeschooling their children back in the 70s and 80s. Homeschooling is really mainstream at this point in time. I think we're going to see more and more people homeschooling because of the flexibility, because you can tailor the education of your child to your child's unique style of learning.
First systems of writing in Mesopotamia.
That a la carte education style is one of the reasons the Rodriguez family decided to homeschool. Hosanna says the experience helped shape the whole child.
It's really being a student of your student, too, is understanding, okay, what are my resources? What's our goal here? And then really looking for a way to help them connect to it. And it will just incorporate who they are and their personality and their skills.
Now, homeschooling parents have to make sure their kids are prepared for careers that require science, technology, engineering, and math. News 2's Daphne DeLorean tells us about the STEM options for kids.
Students who engage with STEM hands-on are better positioned for the future, whether it's college, career, and just general life skills. Preparing our homeschool children matters, and having the resources to do so for those families who choose the homeschooling route is vital. For Middle Tennessee homeschooled families, there are resources to help support the incorporation of STEM regularly into any curriculum. Tennessee Homeschoolers is one of those incredible opportunities. It's a program offering homeschool families a way to connect, share information, and coordinate fun, educational activities outside the home. This includes STEM hands-on or through a fun field trip within the community. I had the chance to chat with the president of Tennessee Homeschoolers, Abby Merriman, to learn all about it.
Some of the things that we offer through Tennessee Homeschoolers outside of our field trips, we have a K-5 STEM program. So that walks these kids through a different scientific principle every time they meet with a hands-on activity and a competition. We offer intermediate and beginners coding classes. We have a Lego STEM club.
To find out more on how you can get involved, head to tnhomeschool.org or check them out on Facebook at Tennessee Homeschoolers.
Now, some concerns of parents looking at homeschooling are socialization and various class offerings seen in traditional schools. That's where enrichment programs called tutorials come in. Our Haley Wilgus takes us to one in Madison.
Are you guys excited about Halloween?
Yeah! The class sizes are small, the curriculum is rooted in faith, they only meet 2 days a week, and these students are actually homeschooled.
Our job is to partner with the parents and the families to come alongside them to serve, fill in the gaps in the homeschool. We're kind of a la carte, so you can pick your complete schedule, what works for you and what works for your family. We've always that's kind of set us apart.
Hannah Herndon is the executive director of the Center for Homeschool Enrichment and Tutorial, or CHET, which has been serving Middle Tennessee families for more than 20 years as a supplement to their studies at home.
They get to be around students and to be around teachers that are going to hold them accountable. So they have to still come in, sit in a class, turn in their homework. We host a lot of events. We host dances, we host formal, we have the science fair.
Herndon says CHET offers classes that can be challenging for parents to teach, such as advanced science and math. But there are also plenty of creative offerings, including culinary arts, sign language, and clogging.
This school is big on the fine arts. We started a rock band this year, which has already been really successful and really cool. This year we have offered forensics for both middle school and high school, and that's been a huge hit. Our teacher went to college for forensics, so she knew a lot about it, and she was able to, bring in hands-on stuff in our classroom so that they could learn something that's usually not offered in schools.
Herndon homeschools her 5 children, and they also attend CHET. She says alongside academic enrichment, community is one of the most important aspects of a program like this for socialization and support.
You have that, backup, and that you come alongside each other and support each other. So that does help a lot to have something like CHET. So we're very blessed to have this, and then, my kids thrive because they get the best of both worlds, and I love that.
Homeschooling and playing sports. See how the programs where kids educated at home still get involved in athletics. Welcome back. Well, one question parents are considering homeschooling ask, what about sports? Our Haley Wilgus shows us how some students are still participating in athletics.
Football and faith.
God, I thank you that we just have this team, God. I thank you for our coaching staff, and I pray that you would just help us just win these next 2 weeks.
Intertwined on the field.
You can tell that the coaches are trying to honor the Lord in everything that they do here, and it's been a blessing to be on this team.
Dylan Spears plays tight end for the Tennessee Tigers football team. It's comprised mostly of players like Spears who are homeschooled and a few who attend private schools that don't have football teams.
Yeah, so this is 8-man football versus 11-man football, so it's definitely a lot different. It's a lot faster. There's a lot more points scored. The field's a little bit smaller. But there's a lot of open space because you have 3 less guys than in 11-man, and so there's a lot of open field. Tackling is very important, and most guys aren't great at tackling, and so if you're really fast, then you're going to be a good football player in 8-man.
It's not just how they do things on the field, but also off the field that's different than teams Spears has played for in the past.
We started our Thursday night after practice, a Thursday devotional, and where each day or each week a different player leads a devotional, and that's definitely something that's been really a blessing for us in our team to try to stay grounded. Obviously, we want to win football games, but we want to honor the Lord more than win football games.
Football, in my opinion, is the greatest sport on earth because it literally is a microcosm of what life is. You're part of something bigger than yourself. You got to do your job. You got to do your part. You're going to get knocked down, literally, and you got to get back up. And that's kind of what life is, right?
Athletic director and head coach Steve Adams started the nonprofit Tennessee Tigers Sports last spring after coaching football at public and private schools for 20 years.
God showed me a different priority. As I got a lot older and wiser, it's not about football for me anymore. It's about making a difference in these kids' lives. Because let's face it, today's social media, all the stuff that's being shot at these kids, they need a place where they can go and they can hear the gospel truth about Jesus.
Adams and his wife homeschooled their kids, so he knew there was a need for these type of athletic opportunities.
When I put it out on social media, I was overwhelmed with the response. And just to give you an idea, we have on my varsity team, 9th through 12th grade, I have 40 kids, which is a big number for 8-man football. Tigers on 3, 1, 2, 3, Tigers!
Spears is a senior and will be heading to college, but the life lessons he's learned in the huddle will stick with him.
The team environment is something that you can carry on for your whole life. Coach Adams is an awesome coach. He's the best coach I've ever had. He tries to be an example for all of us as men. He's, like a father figure, grandfather figure to most of the kids on the team.
In the end, it's not going to matter how many football games I won, but it's going to matter that I grew some young men into husbands and fathers and so forth and so on. So that's what we're about, and that's really, football is the stage or the tool we use to be able to grow these guys up.
In Franklin, Haley Wilgus, News 2.
I love that story. Well, homeschool education doesn't always have to happen at home. News 2's Maggie Weaver takes us to a Belmead historic site where homeschool students are connecting outside of the classroom and stepping back in time through hands-on history lessons.
It's easier to learn by doing it than just reading about doing it.
At Belmead Historic Site, homeschool students are not just reading about history.
It's hands-on, it's interactive.
Getting this hands-on activity gives us the extra opportunity to learn stuff that we may not have ever learned in public school or private school.
Just remember, you only need a little bit of water at a time.
The Homeschool History Club serves nearly 100 students from kindergarten through high school, blending traditional curriculum with immersive, active learning. From molding clay marbles.
Well, you're making really tiny marbles.
We had pinch pots they got to make. They got to make corn husk stalls, traditional Cherokee corn husk stalls. Learn about how the owl got his spots by doing a little owl puppet.
To exploring 19th century stables.
What better place to learn history than if you're in an 1890 carriage house, just literally surrounded by history.
This approach keeps students engaged.
Because it actually gives our brains a chance to learn how to make the things that they would have made back in the old centuries.
But educators also say programs like this give homeschool families the same social and creative opportunities kids get in traditional school, just in a different way.
I only really meet friends from either my neighborhood or from these different things I go to. So I would have never met Ellie if it wasn't for Belmead.
Field trips, museum days, and hands-on clubs. Students say it's all made possible because of the flexibility of their homeschool schedule.
It's really flexible for us to travel to do other school things that will count as my school.
I get to do whatever I would like. I get more time.
Many making the most of that flexibility to work ahead.
So I've done 6th grade over the summer, and then I've just kind of gone with the flow and just done curriculums all year round.
And to chase their passions.
And I'm a competitive figure skater, so it helps my schedule be super flexible. So if I have a lesson, say at 2 o'clock, I get to work my schoolwork around.
Doing it all in a way that meets their needs and without sacrificing their studies. Reporting in Belmead, Maggie Weaver, News 2.
Well, there are several ways to homeschool your child here in Tennessee. Coming up, our Mark Kelly breaks down the different ways to do it legally. There are many different ways to homeschool in Tennessee. Umbrella schools, online schools, independent homeschooling. The lingo can be confusing for people just starting out. But our Mark Kelly is back to explain how you legally start homeschooling in Tennessee.
If anyone knows homeschooling, it's Christopher and Christina Rodriguez.
We kind of get to choose what subjects we do each day.
We get to choose the best curriculum that works with our family.
The Rodriguez family has been homeschooling for decades, and with 4 siblings, they have a lot of experience among them. The 2 sons have graduated from homeschooling and are in college, while the 2 sisters continue their homeschooling journey.
It's all you've known?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever want to go to traditional school?
No. They would tell us about the different, obviously, experiences that they were having. Some great, some not so great, and I think overall, we were saying, yeah, I think what we're doing is worth it.
The volunteer state has 10% of its students homeschooled according to the census. For Christina, she appreciates choosing her own schedule.
For example, we have like a planner of what we need to get done by the week, and then we can just choose, okay, I just want to do logic and history today, then tomorrow. So I really like how it's flexible like that.
The state keeps track of homeschoolers by having them file under one of three categories: umbrella schools, independent homeschoolers, or an accredited online school. Let's start with a church-related umbrella school. Here, the family homeschools following the rules and regulations of the umbrella program. This is really the most common type of homeschooling, and the umbrella school helps with attendance and transcripts. Now, option 2 is called independent homeschooling. Families file a notice of intent to homeschool with their local school district, but this option can be challenging because it's up to parents to report school records and also develop their own curriculum. Now, the third option is using a Category 3 school. This is a private school that is online. It's the least common option and has more government oversight, but it also allows families to tap into dollars from the state's Education Freedom Scholarship Fund.
So which category are you putting yours in?
So B.
This is discoveries and developments?
Probably.
Okay, 17, yeah, perfect.
When mom Hosanna Rodriguez started homeschooling in the 2000s, there weren't as many online options as today.
I would go to the library, and there were at some point, I would come home with 70 books. I had to carry a suitcase because I needed a way to get it to the car.
Today, she uses a combination of traditional workbooks and online courses.
We will definitely blend it all. We look for live online classes. We look for maybe self-paced classes. We'll look for dual enrollments, whether that's online or in person. I just like to cover it with a lot of different layers.
Her work has certainly paid off. Her sons both received full academic scholarships. Christopher is double majoring in physics and math. Jaden is majoring in business management with a film minor. For others on the fence whether to homeschool, Hosanna offers some encouragement.
I would say that if I could do it, they could probably do it as well.
Mark Kelly, News 2.
Thousands of families are choosing at-home options for educating their kids. Our Nicole Smith goes to Rutherford County as more families are making the switch from traditional education.
I felt like school was a bit of like a prison to me. I wasn't able to unleash my creativity.
A kid wise beyond his years.
He's always been advanced for his age.
By kindergarten, Michelle Saunders learned something herself.
Just there weren't enough resources for him. He was getting bored.
Public school wasn't the best fit for her son, Frank.
I already have it all finished in my brain. I'm like, okay, this is what I gotta do. Let's do it.
She says homeschooling has allowed educating him at his pace, and she's not alone, as Frank joined other kids in learning about nature at a park in Murfreesboro.
In Rutherford County, our homeschool community is large, but it is great.
Jessica Morgan helps support that community, co-founding Legacy Homeschool Resource Center alongside former Rutherford County teacher Jennifer Bertram.
Several of my mentors and great friends are still teaching in Rutherford County. It's a great place to be, but at COVID came and my family made some different choices, and we decided homeschooling was the right fit for us because really, I just wanted the opportunity to give them an education that closely aligned with our family values.
She says she wanted to teach academic knowledge and biblical wisdom together, and it's a desire for freedom they often hear from other parents.
And I had two kids that were in competitive sports, and we noticed that we weren't getting a whole lot of family time together between sending them to school all day and then both of them being in sports. It was really tough. So we kind of got the best of both worlds. We had control over what they were learning and how they were learning it, and then we had a very flexible schedule when we homeschooled.
She says that allowed for more time together as a family, and for homeschooling families, connecting with other people is vital.
For my son, it was rough because he's my social kid. He's the one that was like, Mom, I need some more friends. And so that's really where I saw very quickly it was going to be very important for us to find a community.
A community built on sharing resources and support through workshops, various programs, and mentoring new families.
I don't want anybody to be scared to homeschool. I want any parent who says, I think I want to do that, to say, I can do that. My kid can still play sports. My kid can still go to prom.
They feel homeschooling today is different from years past, and more people are catching wind.
There's over 7,000 students just in Rutherford County registered in alternative education programs like this. So it just takes, there's a lot, and it's growing every day, and it takes all of us communities working together and saying, hey, we have a place for you.
A place they hope can help each child.
Now I can do it at my own pace and do whatever I want.
Be their personal best.
Like, he's taking culinary class, he's taking sewing, coding, he's about to do 3D printing. He's able to venture into all his different creative interests. There's that relief of knowing that no matter what, you have support for whatever works for your family.
And remember to see all of our stories on homeschooling, plus the other in-depth reporting from our entire team of journalists here at News 2. Just head to our website, WKRN.com. Thank you so much for watching our special on homeschooling. I'm Megan Fee, and on behalf of our team here at News 2, have a great day.